triticale spelt. If you have a planter that will plant corn, it will plant the other stuff. Okay, I'm forgetting what our crops are. Wheat, blah blah blah. We race over here. Oh, sorry. Triticale and rye are treated the same as wheat, barley, oats. I think spelt is treated the same as corn. So if we look at planters, I am so drifting off into the weeds. Or is that miscanthus? I can't recall. That might, well, yeah, because there, I don't know where onions come in, but yeah, that might be miscanthus. Let's miscanthus. So but you know, one of the crops is functionally the same as corn, and the others are functionally the same as wheat and barley. So there's obviously a setting in the game files that just says, here's a new crop type, here's its unique sort of texture when it's in the field growing. And as far as equipment's concerned, it checks the same box as wheat, barley, oats and everything else. So they don't have to mod the equipment, it's all functionally working. So with balers, they've just said clover and alfalfa are functionally the same as grass, so I can go and bale it with this baler, not a problem. So should I run out there and wrap the squares? I think I might. So we're just going to leave everything in this field wrapped. And we won't worry about the... you got a bit close there, dude. We won't worry too much about unfold the grass bale that we created and wrapped. Yes. Okay, so bottom line, this is going to work. I don't like using this, it's a bit slow. And I still have to ship all the bales back to the yard, which, I mean, you could do with this thing. Just leave it in the yard attached to why is this got on it, by the way? I mean, this is literally just towed. Does it have its own motor? Oh, that could be the tractor itself, because the tractor's a mod, so maybe. But it doesn't have a PTO. I've seen a farmer with let's go back to baling technologies. So he had something like this, and he hitched it to the back of his pickup and was wrapping bales in his yard. He was using 3-point hitch bale spikes, one on the front, one on the back, two little old tractors, two-wheel drive tractors, and just running around picking up all the bales from the field and hauling them back to his yard. But in his yard he just had one of those little round wrappers attached to his pickup, and over the course of a day, I think we went down that highway 4 times that day. So we went out and he was out there with his 2 little tractors hauling the bales in, and then once that was all done, we were heading back to the hotel, and he was wrapping them with his truck, and then by the time we went past in the late afternoon of that day, all the bales were nicely stacked in a row, which obviously the wrapper doesn't do. So we could use our bale grabber to grab the bales off the field and then ship them up to the barn and just leave this in the yard and just wrap them when they get there. That is the more realistic way of doing it. I know a lot of farmers don't like wrapping their bales on the field because it's more of a chance for their bales to or the wrapping to get ripped. I mean, at the moment we're just rolling it up, putting it down, not dragging it along the ground, and that's fine. Of course, you should also have a bale grab that you can use to stack your bales with, but we're going square bales, so we can now make raw clover, which I was planning to do on the second cut. At least one of the fields will produce a little bit of raw clover. Nice thing is these bales are bigger. So is that all our baling that we did? I think that's all the bales we've made so far. So let's run over here, see if I can figure this out. Control F, and I think we go 2.5 offset. Obviously I can't quite remember. We will turn the engine on, lower the thing, oops, unfold it, turn it on, and let's go pick up stuff. Yeah. See, now this is running nicely. And we can't drive through the hedge because there's real bales in there. Okay. Of course, rear wheel steering on the baler. Also an added challenge. But yeah, we can run this at 11-12 miles an hour. The problem is the wrapper. Well, the wrapper's not a problem yet. But once it starts stopping and picking up bales. So, we are a square bale farm, still. Yay. But yeah, I think, talking in game terms, I think the X-Tractor doesn't work with this, with clover bales, because because it's specific to grass square bales and grass round bales, and so if you try and put other types of bales in, it's going to refuse them, like hay or straw, and it only accepts bales, whereas a baler will accept any grass product, where grass product is grass, hay and straw. And a wrapper will only accept grass. So that baler modifier works on base game wrappers and says you can also work with clover, alfalfa, horsegrass to wrap them. Because again, wrappers are specific to what you can wrap, whereas balers are just grass product. Where is my him stuck? Drop that there. Let's try going forwards before we... Yeah, we're churning out bales way too fast for this thing to cope with. That much is obvious. So doing the follow me thing, not really going to work out for us. That's okay. I think, you know, back on law, this is a really heavy yield. I mean, we're making tons of bales out of this. I think way more than we would get out of grass. Be interesting to see. But this thing just can't, you know, we are churning out so much clover from the baler. So bales so frequently that the wrapper just can't keep up with it. I mean, we're really jumping 2 or 3 bales before we're ready to wrap the next one. No, I didn't bring the trailer down, did I? We just have the mower, the baler, and the wrapper. So let's stop this back again, and oops, we will get this guy going again. So I'm just going to bale up most of the rest of this field. I actually want to go and grab the fend from the yard and bring it down with the bucket, and we'll grab some clover in that bucket and we'll stick some of it in the shelter and some of it in the dry goods where I put out the bale. And then just see if there's any issues with dry clover rotting. I am kind of cheating with the game mechanic to, once you've got a bale started on a certain product, and obviously there is a sort of 150 litre, 200 litre forgiveness point. So if I've got less than 200 litres of clover in the thing and drive over some hay or drive over some grass, then it will convert it to grass. But once we've got probably about 200 litres of clover in the tank, if we could then fill the entire baler up remainder with grass, and then we would still end up with a clover bale. So it's kind of cheating, but whatever. Go. We just grabbed grass, so everything I'm grabbing here is going to be a grass bale, not a clover bale. And done. Now we switch back to clover, and it doesn't even matter if this is grass. This bale will be clover. think most of this is clover because I kind of tried to keep it so that we were just collecting up to the edge of the field and not through it. Oops, careful of the edge of the map. And then when it comes to picking up the round bales, I'm going to have to bring the Johnston trailer down to pull them up to the barn. I could just stack them in this field and use them to feed the sheep. That are down here. That is actually a windrow. I couldn't tell whether that's a windrow or whether that was sunlight through the trees. But anyway, I do want a little bit of loose clover, just so that we can compare potentially rotting of loose clover versus baled. This is going nicely, so I'm good with keeping the big class baler. Okay. And the reason we went with the Kuhn mowers over the what we had was the class mowers, which didn't have a problem with this particular tractor. But the reason I went with the Kuhn ones is because we're either going to be wrapping what we mow, or we're going to be putting them out to hay, but it kind of saves having a windrower. However, because I still need to create clover hay, I'm going to need a windrower anyway. Edge of this map is getting annoying. Okay. We'll turn left instead of right. Still running clover in this, and that's good. I guess I'll sweep around that round bale. That might actually be our silage grass bale rather than clover. So the interesting thing is, how many bales are we going to produce off this field? Oh, that's right. We never actually produced grass product on this field in our previous map incarnation. This was arable. I think the last thing we grew on this field was sunflowers. It was the sheep, the field that's currently got all the sheep in, that we were producing grass from. And then, which was the other grass field? Number 3. Number 3 is still grass. Okay, we're good here. This might be grass, but it's not going to change the bale. So yeah, field 3, I'm really not sure what to do with it right now. It's currently low growing grass. But I'm using the pasture behind the cow barn as grass for sheep when the grass field doesn't feed them. And that's more than adequate. And then we have 2 fields of clover, which I think is again more than adequate. My plan for that grass field was just to mow it and mow it, wrap it, and sell it, which kind of works. It's a guaranteed income field. Yeah, we're gonna produce the grass. We're always going to sell the grass from that field as silage, make digestate, and get some money. So it's not really a field that I was looking at for food production. But farming agency, on Oxygen David's version of the map, that field defaulted to grass. 3 was grass, and there's a bunch of small fields up at the back of the farm. Where are we? Up over here. These are all grass fields. And this one here, but this is now an optional sheep field. This is an optional sheep field. This is a grass field, and this is a main sheep field. But the farming agency removed the grass from that field, so I ploughed it and planted grass immediately. But we could use that for arable crops in future years. It's sort of, what do I want to do with it? Question, because obviously using it for grass silage means it's going to produce digestate, which I can then use as fertilizer, which isn't going to happen if I planted wheat or barley or some other arable crop on it. Plus silage is mid-year income, which arable crops aren't. I don't know. It's a thing. Looks like Twitch might be having some issues. I've noticed it's only putting the stream out at 480, and it's telling me I'm broadcasting at least 720. So not sure what the deal is there. And obviously once these bales have fermented, then we will have, they're bigger than the store-bought ones. The store-bought ones were only about 3,200, so that's more food. Well, that's the thing, because I own, I think it's Field 9, and Field 9 is grass, and I'm not going to put anything else in there but grass, because it's one of these small fields that just, I'm not going to get large harvesters into the field, so it's just convenient for putting grass in, and end of story. So I don't absolutely need field freer's grass, but then again, it depends how much clover we end up keeping, because I mean, we're seriously producing a ton of it here. Like I said, not sure how many bales we're going to get. I don't have any way to compare clover to grass. Yeah, how many bales do we get from grass? How many bales do we get from clover? I'm not even sure I recall how many bales we got from field 6 and 3 when we were doing those. And back up, too close. Oh, grass. Oh, we're going to make another grass bale. Oh, well. Probably doesn't matter if it try and get all the grass at the edge or just use up a little bit of clover to finish up the bale. I think functionally it's the same stuff, so at least as far as we're concerned for sheep feeding. Close to that bale. Gotcha. And left turn. Okay. Yeah, this clover stuff is awesome. I was kind of worried, as the number of sheep we've got increases, we're going to need more and more clover. But really, not so much anymore. Let's get in the cab and do it that way while we're driving through trees. So it could be that, just with the 2 clover fields that we have, we're just going to end up with so much in the way of clover produced that there's really no worry about having too much and having, we'll probably end up selling some. So I am not going to be too much concerned about that. Make that nice. And we are right up against the edge of the map. As I said, the baler has steering wheels, so if I take a right turn, it's going to swing out to the left. I think we all know my feelings on the edge of the map. This particular map, the edge could really do with being in the hedge, not along the edge of the field between points. Oh, well, we missed a bit. Yeah, we missed another bit. Okay. Drive. don't think you can detect loose product on the ground.